6:06, Ray, morning.
Okay, now?
Yeah.
You okay?
Oh, struggling a bit, but...
Huh?
Yeah, it's the old frog again, the old frog in the throat. I get it every year, don't I? So there's nothing I can do about it. The family have had it, so I knew it was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Anyway, were you golfing yesterday?
I was indeed, yeah. I went over at Woolley Park where we had our golf day. Very busy over there yesterday, but I played the other side of the road yesterday. Which,
Did you?
There's 3 9-hole courses over there, which is very nice over there, to be fair, but you need a buggy, Al. It's a bit uphill.
Hilly?
Yeah, a little bit hilly for me.
But today will be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing one of the best courses in Essex, probably.
Do you know, I don't think I'm going to make it. I really want. I've got the clubs in it in the car.
We'll see. You go later on now. You might liven up later.
I doubt it. Not on Lemset. No.
I'll get you a livener later. Don't worry.
No. Guiding us through today's back pages is the Telegraph's boxing correspondent, Gareth A. Davis. But first, Gareth. Look, it's horrible. Horrible scenes in Vegas. You were there just a few days before. Just explain where this was and where were you?
Well, you know, the thing is, when something of this nature happens and you spend so much time there in your career, I've been to Vegas nearly 65 times now over the last 20 years. And, you know, I've worked in the Mandalay very often. When Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fought there, the media tent was just across the road from where the shooting was. So you know what it's like when you picture yourself in that place. You know, the horror comes home. You know, I have many friends and you know, many colleagues in Las Vegas, and in fact I woke up yesterday morning to a text from my daughter Mia, and also an email from the Telegraph saying, "Are you still in Vegas?" Because I only got back from America last Thursday. So you know, it's a horrific thing, and you know there's always a knock-on effect from this kind of thing. I mean, at 8 o'clock this morning, I'm going to go and have breakfast with Brett Yormark, who's the CEO of the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And, you know, I'm going to ask him about what sports centers do now in America, because there's always a tightening up of security.
But I don't
and what
understand,
happens in these big hotels, you know?
Vegas, right? Vegas. Yeah. When you're talking about flashpoints or where some nutter might want to do something, whether it be terrorist or just a screwball, surely, I'd have thought all the big hotels had metal detectors now in the main entrance. How did he get in?
In Indonesia, they do. Every hotel.
How did he get in with this? You know, I don't even know, was it a semi-automatic rifle? How did he get in?
Well, I think he had 17 guns in the room.
14
or 17
surely,
guns.
You know, the world's a dangerous place now, and Vegas hotels can afford all the security in the world.
I think they
understand.
clearly haven't got them, because, you know, he would have taken these things. I'm sure we'll find out. He was in there a couple of days before. He was in there for the 28th, wasn't he? He'll have taken them up in large suitcases. And, you know, Vegas is a very dangerous city, and people don't know this. There's a lot of guns around there. And it's quite commonplace for people to hand their guns in at reception as well, because you have concealed and non-concealed licenses there for...
I don't know what the motive was, but what I would suggest is they have to. It makes sense, because some people go there and gambling's addiction. You know, that's why they probably don't have balconies, because people do their dough, and suddenly they have a cocktail of booze and drugs, and, you know, they want to do themselves in. So I just, for the life of me, I don't understand why there's no detection there.
You've made a very good point, and I think, you know, as we see now at airports, as we see now at major sports events, the security is almost certain to tighten up.
You have to put up with it.
Yeah, you do to make a safer world, because of these lunatics that are around.
Gareth's going to come back and do the papers at 7 o'clock. Now, the world's crazy, isn't it? Trouble in Spain now. Here we go. Following the Catalonian referendum, an emotional Gerard Piqué has admitted that he may quit international football now. Join us now is ARP Spanish sports correspondent Kieran Canning. Kieran, good morning.
Hi guys, how are we?
Good morning.
Very good, Kieran. I don't think we realise in the UK how strong the feeling is in Basque Spain about breaking away until what we witnessed over the weekend. You know, I don't think we realise the amount of feeling and strength that, you know, people want to break away now. This problem at the weekend, Kieran, is this now going to make it really worse, or are the Spanish government going to come and squash this down, you know, with immediate force?
Well, I think that's what the Spanish government tried to do on Sunday, but it's only contrived to make things an awful lot worse. And Piqué said that himself when that, as you mentioned, when he kind of broke down in tears in the mix zone on Sunday, saying that this is one of the worst decisions that Spain's made in in 40 or 50 years, and is only going to divide Catalonia and Spain an awful lot more going forward. And I know what you mean when you say that sometimes we underestimate the feeling that there is in Catalonia for independence, but actually, until Sunday, most polls would say that it was more or less sort of 50-50 even within Catalonia in terms of the amount of people that wanted independence versus the amount of people that wanted to remain part of Spain. But obviously, I think after events of seeing the police wading in and on people that were just trying to voice their sort of democratic right, it's changed a lot of people's minds in Catalonia and has pushed a lot more people closer to voting for independence.
Kieran, is it possible that Barcelona would, because they fell out with their La Liga, walk away? Barcelona, big club like Barcelona, and what happens then? There's been talk that they maybe could go to the Premier League.
Yeah, so the head of La Liga, and one of the reasons that, for example, Barcelona played their game behind closed doors on Sunday was that they wanted to cancel the game in light of what was going on. La Liga refused. Part of the reason for that is that the head of La Liga, the president of La Liga, is very outspoken against Catalan independence, so wasn't going to give any ground. And he said that if Catalonia did get independence, Barcelona couldn't play in La Liga because they'd be part of a different country. Now, I think that stance would soften in the case that Catalonia did get independence. It's very much been used at the moment as a scaremongering measure to say if Catalonia gets independence, Barcelona and the other Catalan teams can't play in La Liga. But it's in no one's interest really for Barcelona not to be part of them. Obviously, La Liga would lose out massively. They'd lose the Clásico, the Barcelona-Real Madrid rivalry. It's no good for Barcelona as well. And in terms of the talk of the Premier League, I mean, I think there's any chance of that happening. More because, I mean, you'll know as well, Alan, as a Scot, I mean, all these
Celtic
years,
Rangers,
about Celtic and Rangers. why are Turkeys going to vote for Christmas by voting in? If they're not going to vote in Celtic and Rangers, why are they going to vote in Barcelona?
Kieran, just financially, because it wasn't that long ago, Scotland had a vote about breaking away from the UK. I don't know. Have you covered much on the financials? Could they afford to break away?
Yeah, I mean, that's very much part of the reason why they want to break away. It's deemed in Catalonia. Catalonia is one of the wealthiest regions of Spain and one of the major driving forces behind the independence movement is that they believe that they pay a lot more into the Spanish pot than they get back from the central government in Madrid. So that's certainly one of the reasons why there's a push for independence. Interesting.
Kieran, look, thank you for that. Very interesting.
Yeah, we have a few fans, wouldn't they, over here?
Well,
Barcelona.
Shut up. Kieran's right there. You can't come to Premier. The chairmans would just not vote it. It'd be great.
It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
But they wouldn't vote it in.
No.
Kieran Canning there, Spanish sports correspondent over in Spain. 4 minutes to 7. I'm just a devil